ago.
An element has been taken out of the team. Do you think that's important for a club of Celtic stature?
I think it's always important to have some kind of homegrown talent in a team, and what I understand, you have a few players there, and they had homegrown talent in the team as well. But at the same time, they need to be good enough, because it's to playing for Celtic, you need to be good enough, and as I said, I mean, the players that are abroad, coming from abroad, need to be good enough as well. So yeah, it's a difficult question to answer, but what I can say is you have to play with pride whenever you walk onto that pitch, or you walk out with the hoops on. You have to understand what it means for the fans, especially.
Yeah. Does it surprise you though that Scott Brown is the only Scottish player really in the first 11? Besides Aidan McGeady, he plays for Ireland, but he was brought up.
Yeah, he was brought up in Scotland. Sean Maloney is not in the starting 11 now.
Well, he's injured at the moment.
Injured, so but otherwise you would have 3 there at least, wouldn't you? So I mean, but it's up to the manager to pick the team that he thinks that can do the job for the club, and that you have to respect that.
Yeah. Do you think Tony Mowbray needs to be given the time that he is asking for? It's a difficult job to change so quickly, isn't it?
It's not easy, but I mean, as I said before, I didn't like players talking about the situation when I was playing there, because it's always different. But I mean, what you have to do is do your best. You can't do more than your best.
Yeah. Do Celtic need a strong Rangers? Because at the moment, Rangers' financial situation, I don't know if you're aware of this, is pretty bad.
No.
Rangers are in pretty dire straits financially. They haven't bought a player for 2 years. They can't afford to. The bank is effectively running the club. Without having to comment on that, obviously, is it important for Celtic that Rangers are strong so they have that competition?
I think it's important for Scottish football in general that both Celtic and Rangers are strong, because that means that they have something to compare themselves against. I mean, the talk has been a long time about Celtic and Rangers to go and join the Premiership, but that's not going to happen. I think that for Scottish football, you need two strong old firms, and you need the other teams to up it a little bit. And I know I'm aware about the financial situation in the whole of Europe. I mean, you should be here. It's a little bit worse than what those guys has, I think. So, but I mean. You have to try to do the best out of the situation, and for Scottish football to develop, I mean, it's good now that we don't have, or that you don't have that much money to go and buy whichever player you want. You have to concentrate on the homegrown talent, and that's going to be good for the Scottish League in the future, but also for the national team.
You played so many big European nights at Celtic Park and abroad. UEFA Cup final in 2003. Scotland has now lost one of the Champions League places that they had. It now means that the winner of the SPL will have to actually qualify to get into the Champions League. Are those big European nights going to be a thing of the past?
No, I don't hope so. I mean, I don't hope so for Scottish football. I think that that's something that the fans and the players has to have to really enjoy it. Those were the nights where you really lived up, that you had the chance to do something else than playing domestic.
Yeah. What are your memories of those big European nights? Because the atmosphere was something special, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, I mean, almost only got fond memories. I mean, Celtic Park, playing away from home. When the travelling fans were there, it was fantastic. I mean, unbelievable.
Chris Boyd recently broke your SPL scoring record.
How much was that? What was my record?
Your record, or your SPL scoring record? I think it was it 98 goals or something?
98.
The number of goals that you'd scored in the SPL.
In
total in the SPL, no, it was 104. What was it, 100?
I don't have a clue.
Anyway, it was all over the Scottish press because Chris Boyd has now scored more goals in the SPL than you did. You held the record. Do you think that will ever happen again? Because basically, when players play well in the SPL and they score goals, they then get a move down south. Were you surprised that Chris Boyd could break your record, first of all, and do you think it will ever be broken again?
Oh, I didn't know that he broke my record, but congratulations to him. Well, I mean, yeah, as you say, normally when you have somebody up there that's going to get a contract down south, if it's going to be broken, yeah, probably somewhere in the future, or so in the future, maybe not in the near future, but records are there to be broken, and there's not many records that you won't be able to break. So,
do you think players? So I'm just getting to the end of my questions here. Do you think players players do at the moment treat the SPL, in particular Celtic and Rangers, as a stepping stone to the English Premiership? Do you think that's a realistic way of looking at it, or do you think both Celtic and Rangers should be ambitions for top players?
It's always going to be a financial question, that to be able to attract the top players. But also, I mean, if you're not in Europe playing Champions League, it's going to be hard to attract the biggest players. As simple as that.
Just see if there's anything else I've got here. Oh yeah, Walter Smith said last week that because of the Champions League place getting lost, now he wants UEFA to come in and somehow help bigger clubs within smaller countries. Okay, because obviously it's difficult, the coefficient goes down, and yet Celtic and Rangers are still big clubs. Do you kind of agree with that? Do you think there should be some help for big clubs within smaller countries?
If you help the big clubs, you need to help the smaller clubs as well. So I mean, it's difficult to say. I mean, I'd rather stay out of that debate, really, to be honest with you.
Go back to your own managerial career then. Looking ahead, into the future, everything goes well here at Landskrona, you get a move. Do you ever see yourself at Celtic?
I don't know. We have to wait and see. What I said to you earlier was that I take this 1 year at a time. And you see at the end. See if they like me here or I don't like it here. We see the future. Only the future will tell.
Presumably, as an ambitious person, though, to be a manager of Celtic would be a privilege.
What I would say is I would like to take my coaching skills till the highest possible level, and we see where that's going to take me.
Yeah. English Premiership, can you see yourself being there?
I don't know. We have to wait and see where we're going to get.
You played with some great players at Celtic. I can think of Neil Lennon, Chris Sutton, John Hartson, Alan Thompson. Big characters, big game players. Celtic now can't afford players like that. How much do you think they'll miss those characters?
A lot. I mean, the names you mentioned there. I mean, there's very, very skillful players. I mean, to being without them players, I mean that's more or less a backbone of any team. I mean, it's going to be difficult. I mean, Chris Sutton, Neil Lennon, John Hartson, Alan Thompson. I mean, it's one of each position, so to speak, and I mean it's all highly class players. So I mean, it's going to be difficult for a team, any team, to be without those kind of players.
And just finally, away from football, when you think about Scotland, is there anything that you do miss?
Sometimes I miss Scotland because I mean the people there, the friends that I still have over there, the house I had in Bothwell. I mean, we had 7 great years there, me and my family, and my daughter was born in Glasgow, Queen Mums, and I mean, sometimes I think about Glasgow every now and then, and always with a big smile. Do you still get messages of support from Celtic fans? Oh, still as a coach, so that's fantastic. Great. Henrik, thanks very much. You're welcome.